parents, teachers, therapists, maybe some students. In this video, I am going to talk to you about self-care, but really this one area of confusion that I've seen a lot around self-care. And that is this: self care is different when we're talking about self care for students and we're talking about it for adults. I'll explain in just a moment. My name is Seth Perler. I'm an executive function coach, so I help struggling students navigate this thing called education so they can have a great life. My site, sethperler.com, I got a bunch of freebies for you. I put out content all the time, a lot of good stuff, for resources for you to help students with executive function challenges, ADHD, and all sorts of challenges that students might have that can interfere really with quality of life, which is what it's really all about. We want people to have a great education so they can have a great life. Now, let me talk about the self-care. So we have this term self-care, such a term that people use so differently. Well, I just want to break it down with something that I've noticed that can be really helpful. A lot of people, when they think self care, they might be thinking really in terms of thinking about adults. They might be thinking, self care might be, getting a good workout. It might be going to get a manicure or pedicure for some people. It might be going to the doctor. It might be all sorts of things. But imagine adults can have a very personalized idea of what is self-care for me, and people have their own ideas. But when we're talking about kids, please don't complicate it. What I generally am hearing when people are saying self-care for kids is generally four things. When we're talking about self-care for kids and we want to teach self-care, we want kids to have better self-care, we're concerned about a kid's self-care, we're generally talking about four things. What are those four things? Well, with executive function, with the brain's ability to execute, to do things, to do the things that need to be done in life, sort of the foundation, in my perspective, of executive function is good sleep, nutrition, exercise. Okay, so for self-care, sleep. Is the child or student sleeping? And when I say sleep, I mean restful sleep, where they are waking up rested. Our executive function, our brain does not function optimally when we don't sleep well. So is there restful, consistent sleep? That is self-care. Self-care is how do we care for ourselves to create the conditions to have restful sleep. Self-care. Two, nutrition, food, diet, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But the question that I ask is the food that we're consuming nourishing, really nourishing food? Is it nourishing? So that's the question I want you to ask. If there's a lot of chemicals and you're eating a lot of processed foods, is that really nourishing? And what does that do to the brain? So, self-care. Are we nourishing ourselves? Self-care, exercise. I don't care what you call it, movement, fitness, whatever. But the brain functions best when our bodies are activated, when we're getting good fitness, good exercise, good movement, whatever you call it. So those are the first three. Okay. So what's the other one? I said there are four. What's the other one? The other one I'm just going to call other. Self-care other. Other that I hear a lot from parents, teachers, and therapists has to do with any other sort of self-care. I often hear parents who are talking about their child with executive function struggles not wanting to brush their teeth, not showering regularly. Mental health could be other. Self-harm could be other. So self-care can come in other ways. So just to relook at it, I said earlier, for adults and parents, we think of self-care and we might think of, doing nice things for yourself or getting that workout in. It's a different frame. But when we're thinking about kids, really what my focus is when I'm saying how's the self-care, I'm really looking at how's the sleep, how's the nutrition, how's the movement, and how's the other. What are those other things? And again, there are very consistent things in the other that come up, like toothbrushing. I've just heard it so many times. It's so common to hear that. That's one of there are these common areas. So we have our sleep, nutrition, exercise, and other. What do you think? What's the difference between self-care for adults? And I'm asking this in a useful way. Okay, we're looking for useful answers here. But how do you differentiate that? Is there anything I left out? How can we define it for adults, and how can we define it for kids when we're really talking about how to serve a human being, kid who's struggling with stuff? What are we looking at here? Did I leave anything out? What are your thoughts about this? How do we help people in this area? Again, my name is Seth Perler. Go ahead, sethperler.com or executivefunctionsummit.com. You can check out what I got. I think probably have freebies for you in the link right there. But a lot of good resources for you. Please share my work. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and do the things to support me. If my work is supporting your life, please support me. I'd appreciate that. Have a fantastic day, and I wish for you peace of mind, joy, and I also wish for you connection with the people that care about you. Take care.